you ever go through the day feeling as if you're being burned alive? Like someone has literally brought a box of matches and lit every part of your body on fire. What about different parts of your body being a significantly different temperature than the rest of your body? Well, these are just probably questions you're not asked regularly, and your answers were probably no. But these are just some of the symptoms that people who suffer from reflex sympathetic dystrophy suffer on an everyday basis. Reflex sympathetic dystrophy is also known as complex regional pain syndrome. And this disease is actually ranked as the most painful chronic disease um, out of every disease you can think of on the McGill Pain Scale Index. And that was according to the American RSD Hope Foundation. This disease hits close to home because this is something that my mom has suffered with almost my entire life. So I've been in and out of hospitals, in and out of doctor visits, handing her medications to helping her walk, to anything you can think of in assisting to care for someone. But I hope that by the end of this speech you will be able to understand the treatment, causes, symptoms, everything this disease brings to someone's everyday life. But just where did this bizarre disease come from? It actually started in the American Civil War. A 19th century neurologist decided that he was going to start caring for some of the soldiers that had been wounded by gunshots. And as soon as he was pulling the bullets out, they almost had a burning sensation instead of like a severe pain feeling, I guess, that you normally take with some gunshot wounds. And the name reflex from reflex sympathetic dystrophy actually stems from this disease being caused from a reflex that attacks your nervous system. And in 1995, a group of researchers met together and decided they were going to change the name from reflex sympathetic dystrophy to complex regional pain syndrome. But many patients who were diagnosed with this disease before 1995 or fairly soon after that decided that RSD was the name they were going to stick with. And I know that's the way that my mom is when she goes to doctors. She doesn't ever refer to herself as having CRPS. And a lot of people are actually really sensitive about that. So is there a difference between RSD or CRPS? Well, that depends on who you're asking. There's different types of CRPS that some people refer to. Type 1 is normally what they call RSD. It's where the nerve injury can't be definitively set out where it actually started. CRPS type 2 is known as causalgia, and that's where it's obvious where the nerve injury occurred. These two types, like I said, aren't followed by everyone. Not everyone, the patients or the doctors, follow this. It's just something that varies depending on who you're talking to. But whether it's called RSD or CRPS, the symptoms are all the same. Just like every other disease, the symptoms are going to vary in what they actually are, so their severity. The most common symptom that you're going to see is, like I said, the burning sensation, to feel as if the patient has been lit on fire. The person has excessive sweating for no reason usually. I know with my mom, she's actually been publishing books for her hands. They held her hands over cups, and she was just dripping for no reason, sweat into these cups. And that's, I'm sure, I know I've read several other patients that have had the same symptom. And then hypersensitivity to touch. That's something that's always probably been the weirdest thing for me about the disease, is that it feels better to a patient who has this if you firmly grasp them rather than lightly touch them. The more you lightly almost pet them, so to speak, the more, in pain, and they're going to feel these burning sensations. And then finally, as the disease goes on, there's going to be pathological changes in the body, whether it's, by skin color or, you can definitely tell severe atrophy just from, not using the body, not having the strength, or, not feeling well. But because of the combination of these symptoms, the treatment is actually really difficult. The first and obvious method of treatment is medication, whether that stems from, opiates such as, OxyContin, antidepressants including Wellbutrin, or anticonvulsants and muscle relaxers such as Neurontin and Baclofen. And this is actually the bag of medicine that my mom has to keep with her at all times, of what she has to take, to live as close to a regular, life as possible. and his bag is actually, as you can tell, pretty full. Um, and that just kind of goes as research goes on. Different doctors prescribe different medications to see what works, what doesn't. Um, and then the second piece of treatment would be physical therapy and rehabilitation. Like I said, this is a progressive disease, so as time goes on, more atrophy is going to set in, and your body's going to weaken. So making sure that you stay as close to your daily physical ability as possible, whether it's getting up to walk outside for a little bit or actually going to physical therapy offices, just making sure you keep that lifestyle up is definitely going to help and keep your body from atrophying as slow as possible. This walker is actually what my mom uses currently, and it's something that she doesn't need on a daily basis. She actually just uses it whenever she doesn't feel like her body's strong enough to get throughout the house. I know when we go into public places, wheelchairs are something that she is almost, I guess I wouldn't say embarrassed to, but she doesn't like people looking at her in that sense, but it's something that she needs so that she can get along easier and in less pain as possible. And then currently being researched, there's two different things for treatment, and the first one's ketamine, which has been a huge impact on my mom. It's actually an animal tranquilizer, but it's being used as a means to reset the body's nervous system. And this has actually been one of the most beneficial medications and treatment plans that my mom has had. The next is the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and that's where they use pure oxygen to um, inhibit your body's natural healing processes. And this is actually something we're looking into now as a need for treatment. But as you can tell, this is a very complex disease, and so it's kind of hard to understand. So I hope that it's easy to understand why it's so important to know the causes, the treatments, the effects of it, so that it's something you can, when you see people out, you don't have to wonder, hey, that person doesn't look sick, which is something that my mom gets all the time. So don't just automatically assume, well, they don't look sick, so they're fine. So I hope that you're able to understand that this is a disease that people suffer worldwide every day, and I hope that this is something you guys can learn from. Thanks.